We've already discussed a little bit about publications to do with protector deities. Now, this is an abstract concept. This has nothing to do with form, because protectors can be peaceful, semi-peaceful, wrathful, or wrathful in appearance. They can be male or female. They can be either simple, complex, or universal in deity form. So protectors are really an abstract concept, but they're a popular topic, and there are many, many paintings and sculpture and murals found around the world and in collections and in art books of figures designated as protectors. So we do have to spend a little bit of time talking about them. Now, I don't really have a favorite book. I mean, in all honesty, possibly Demonic Divine, which Rob Linroth and I wrote back in 2004 for the Rubin Museum. Maybe that is one of the better books, because we do try and make things relatively clear, and we also try and correct a lot of confusions from decades earlier. But right now I just want to talk about one small book which I have tried to like, but I don't really like all that much. But it is fairly easy to come by, because there aren't a lot of books on protector deities. But this book is called The Guardian Deities of Tibet by Ladrang Kalsang, and it's a small book published out of India, and what it does is it, from what I can tell, it's kind of a breakdown of a Tibetan book, a very large Tibetan book called the Tensung Gyatso. It's the Ocean of Protectors, the Ocean of Dharma Buddhist Protectors, and it was done by Ladrang Shepe Dorje in the 18th century. Now Ladrang was very much a kind of a mixture of Gelug and Nyingma. So this small book, The Guardian Deities of Tibet, it goes into the main Gelugpa wisdom deities, but then also it goes into a lot of the worldly deities. But I find that it is not useful for art, and it is not useful for being a general introduction. It is actually quite specific to Ladrang and the Gelug tradition and the mythologies, the origin myths of these deities. The problem with this is that there's different origin myths depending on the different traditions. And so this text does not contextualize or frame a lot of the material in that kind of a more open way. So when you pick up the publication and read it, you would possibly think that this is just generally how it's all accepted, whereas that's actually not the case. So a tremendous amount of effort is placed on the origin myths, and they're also organized in a way that is primarily wisdom deities to worldly deities, but then there are some that are out of order. So then that also gives you it can create confusion, because you think that a deity is lower down on the list when actually it should be much higher on the list. So I'm bringing this book up because it is out there, it is available, but I do not recommend it unless you're only interested in origin myths based primarily on Gelug and then Nyingma, more recent worldly protectors. So don't forget, press the like button, you can subscribe, and you can also join HAR on Patreon.